Hello grapplers and welcome to a new video. It is time to talk a little bit more in depth about crouching medium punch. Doing this is pretty easy with something like kick due to range, and that's the combo you're usually gonna get. There we go. That's the combo you're usually gonna get. 2142. Well, this is the thing. That is pretty low. Using 3 meters for that, and even if you cancel that into super level 2, your damage is pretty freaking low. If you compare to the optimal crouching medium punch combo with Punisher, that is 3060, which is more than medium SPD. And if you consider that you can go into other things like super level 2 and well, you really increase the damage compared to the something like kick with Punisher. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk a little bit about Crouching Medium Punch, the actual button. Crouching Medium Punch is 8 frames, which is 1 frame slower than Standing Light Kick, but you recover 1 frame faster at 16 frames. Standing Light Kick is 7 frames, 17 frames. The cancel window is very tight at 15 frames compared to Hellstab, Headbutt. You have less of a cancel window, and the hitbox is pretty good. This is the hitbox of Standing Light Kick. When you're recovering, you do have a lingering hurtbox for a while. Again, pretty common for lights. Chill Light Punch, same thing. It's part of the game. Now, Crouching Medium Punch, as you saw in this image, is like this. Technically, your hitbox hurtbox is disjointed, which is pretty good. Now the issue has always been range. Crouching Medium Punch has a little bit less range than Crouching Light Punch. In this scenario, Crouching Medium Punch does not hit Ken, but Crouching Light Punch does. It's hard to use as a weak Punisher. Let's see the options. If you hit someone with Crouching Medium Punch and you DRC, probably your best option will be either Crouching Medium Kick or Crouching Medium Punch to go into Hellstab. This is already more damage than the Standing Light Kick combo. If you get the counter hit one, you can go into Headbutt and do a little bit more damage than Crouching Medium Punch, Hellstab. Now why is this relevant? In the case of Blanka, that is his 4-framer. So if you go into Crouching Medium Punch and you mistake that for the counter hit version and you go into Headbutt immediately, this is actually a counter hit, a frame trap. Again, as any gap, they can Shoryuken, super, the options, parry, you know, classics. But it is pretty decent if you just go into it regular hit. Just remember that the combo is actually Crouching Medium Kick or Crouching Medium Punch. If you get the Punish counter version, you can go into Standing Heavy Kick, assuming they're standing, or Standing Heavy Punch, which covers crouchers and standers. So this is mostly your go-to option. Your combo is something like this. And again, as I mentioned before, this is 3060, which is more than medium SPD, which is 2900. Now, on block, this is a true block string. That means they cannot Shoryuken. They can, however, dry reversal. This is +3. From here, your options are, well, medium SPD. That's the most common one. You can also go into Hellstab. If you go into Hellstab, you're gonna trade with 4-framers. That trade is +7. Depending on the character, the Standing Light Kick can connect, and the pushback can also work. It does not against Blanka. You can do something like that, convert into super level 3, super level 2 if you want. Again, that's just a Standing Light Kick combo. If you want a few options that are more interesting, you can use Crouching Light Punch as a frame trap. If you frame trap with this, you're gonna be +8. So you really want to convert from that Crouching Medium Punch, you need to, again, DRC, go into super level 2, or just use OD Lariat. But the damage is pretty low. So you might as well just use a Crouching Medium Punch for the plus frames and leave it there, or maybe go immediately into super level 2. If they're not pressing anything, you have some interesting options into knee. For example, this one. That knee is -1, and this knee +2. Or if they really want to mash the Crouching Light Punch, this doesn't happen for every single Crouching Light Punch in the game, but some of them, like Ken, they are pretty short. So you can go into Standing Medium Punch and actually punish. Just because the spacing is pretty good. You'll see that most of the time, if you go into something like this, you get interrupted. However, and this is spacing dependent, if you go into a Drive Rush or the Siberian Express, This is actually a frame trap. That is a counterfeit. It cannot stop that with a regular grab event, which is something that also happens with Siberian Express. Counterhit. If they're pressing their crouching light punches and you are close, let's say really freaking close, probably over here, and you DRC from crouching medium punch, you can go immediately to Russian suplex. You see the counter hit label? Funny enough, there's also another thing you can do. You can technically do immediately standing heavy punch into trade. You can do something like that too. And before I forget, because I don't think I showed it, but you can still go into SPD even on block. So crouching medium punch is actually pretty flexible. You have a lot of options. What is the issue of crouching medium punch? Range is kind of annoying that you don't have the same range as crouching light punch. That alone is pretty weird. And even though you can buffer the drive all the time, doing this opens you up for a punish. So you do have to get used to the distance. The distance is a little bit closer to the opponent than other buttons. That means you are open for certain attacks. Since you can whiff punish pretty much from here with standing light kick, if Ken goes for a crouching medium punch or standing heavy kick, that is not the case with crouching medium punch. You do have to be over here. How many times has this happened to you? You go for this combo, or even this one, and you never end the round. This happens in tournaments, happens to every single Zangief player in the world. It is bad. However, if you just replace that with crouching medium punch, the damage is so much different. Continuing with the issues, crouching medium punch is not, due to being 8 frames, is not a good frame trap. So it's very hard to frame trap people with this button compared to other characters with a 6 frame crouching medium punch. If you go for something like this, you'll see that if Ken presses crouching light punch, he technically beats me. Without drive rush, this is +2, +1. So I don't have options to go into this with a frame trap, unless obviously a drive rush. You can space yourself with 2 crouching light punches into crouching medium punch, and then you go into the punish. This is something I've been exploring very deeply on stream, the space traps with Zangief, especially from lights. I already made a video about that, but this is something that can definitely happen with Zangief. Just be careful, because the issue with crouching medium punch, again due to range, is that if they don't press anything, sometimes you just whiff it. Even one crouching light punch can space you outside of the crouching medium punch scenario. I believe the most optimal way to use this button is as a reactionary poke. And to be honest, this is a move that I've been neglecting, but it is way better than we give it credit for. Probably we need to use it more than standing light kick. If you really like this video, please subscribe. Go to the Siberia Lab. We've been talking about space traps a lot. Twitch.tv/Siberia Lab. Take care of yourselves, hydrate, keep playing grapplers, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.